Hello, people. How are we all doing? I hope we are well. I cannot see that for the life of me, so I'm going to go to tablet mode. Booger, tablet mode. So, how are you all doing? I hope you're all well. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it? Been a good week, to be fair. I've had a good week. It's been a good week. Things have been getting on. Getting stuff done. How are you all doing? By the way, how do we like this setup? Because I've changed it a little bit. I'm using a newer light on top, and I think it looks better. They're going to be playing around with this setup sometime. So, evening Adam, evening Bob, evening Adam Biggs, evening Lou. I'm not looking forward to it either, but it was evening Todd. How you doing, mate? I hope well. You haven't been in for a while. 0-0, 1-0 to us. How are we all doing? Tom betting at the weekend sounds like a plan. Yep, I'm looking forward to using the fire pit. Mental health check-in, get it all done and dusted, please. I'm probably about a 6 today. They say going to win, but say 0-0. Been waiting, got that's my message. Did you check? I did check that link out, mate. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. Not knowing my cup of tea, but I did like it a lot. Ian and John, how you doing, mate? Are you having to do half run? Or I heard hear me out hot today with some smoke and stuff. That's not bad, chap. Still waiting for your cooking video. They I think, are the path, mate. Bit darker tonight there. I can fix that. Give me a minute. I can fix that. There we go. Just change it up a little bit. I can't be asked to have all the lights on tonight, to be fair. Keep it PG, lad. Talking went through while baking a cake. Yeah, man, got some time. We had that evening. 61 chickens. Cheers, how you doing, mate? Evening, Barry, how are you, mate? Hope you well. Bit dark tonight. Bit dark. Yeah, it is a bit. Tablet mode isn't just Freaky Friday night in. Evening, Dad. Solid 69 night, Bob. How are we all doing then? It's been a week. We have got Derby Day situation to happen, haven't we? And, well, it's going to be... Well, I say the pressure's on them. It's not really on us, really, is it? It's all on them. It's nothing. We can just go into it. Bit of a head down, just not do much, really. Let's be brutally honest. We want to get 3 points, but I think for us, it's about just staying in the game. Staying in the game, not getting battered. Ian and Daniel, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. How did everyone like the trucking stream who watched it? I know there were a lot who didn't, because I get that. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But yeah, and the best thing about this week is to end the week on a bit of a high. Drink. With Chris Wigfield going, hey, we've got 12 people in so far. It's a soft deadline. We might have more in as well, which would be good. And that's why it's called a soft deadline. Soft deadlines are for a reason. It's to make sure people can get in there who haven't had chance to deal stuff. It seems like they've had good communications from people who would try to get, well, for maybe short trips. I will try and do short trips, yes. Chucking with a good laugh. Ian and Daniel, loved it. The drug, great. Hi Daniel, been boring without real football. Hope you guys win. Jay Peter, how you doing, Peter? I hope you are well. Are you a Scotland fan? You're not saying that. Jesus Christ, that Scotland game. Wow. Just to remember that Scott McTominay has probably just added a couple more million to his transfer fee if he goes to Everton. And I think actually Everton will be a really good club for him to go back to. But I also understand why he would stay in Serie A or the Irish game. Yeah, it was all great. But you look at Wednesday with Chris Wigfield coming at the end of the week going, This is a situation. Goes on the doors. It was a soft deadline. They're still waiting for people to probably come in and get bids in. You're probably going to get some people who are probably watching over the weekend who won't be at the game. They'll probably send representation to do it, because the last thing you want to do if you're also trying to buy said club is be at said game. Ian and Caboodle Fish, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. At said game and then gets papped, or camera crossover going, oh, and this person's here. That's the last thing you want to do, is have that happen. And I think it's one of those things that's good to see that we are looking at. Good to see Little Nation qualify Cape Verde. Hey, got yep. Are we watching at home? Where? Yeah. I will be watching it at home as well, but potentially not warm, because in here has been Baltic. Walked in here today and it was like -2. It's horrible. But yeah, I will be keeping warm wherever I watch it, which is more than likely going to be in here. But the thing I got is that we have got the situation that right now we're leading into this game with any kind of thing. Any news when player 2 will join it between? I think it's between Watmore Redmond, and I think there's about 2 other players they're looking at. They've just not been spoken about for good reason. It's what they want, where they're just keeping it quiet. I think it's between 2 or 4 players we're looking at to fill that second spot. The fact that Liam Cooper could be able to be in this game is huge. It's a huge thing for us. He might not start, but if we get him to come off the bench, it'd be incredible. Which forward, which fourth we think he's going to join then? I kind of want Watmore personally, but that's the thing. I've heard not great things about Redmond, but the thing is, Watmore can play multiple positions, and that might be something that clinches it for me. For Henrik, he needs someone who can play multiple positions. The last thing he needs is someone who can just go the odd position here and there, because we're going to lose Valerie and Sean for Sherry, potentially, to go to Akon. And if we do that, we're going to really struggle to have someone gone out that midfield. And it's going to be difficult. Also, while I'm at it, we all know him as around the grounds in here, Lee. Congratulations to Lee last night. He got 2 gold awards, Best Content Creator and Best Non-League, and a silver. What a night. The rise he's had has been just impressive. Genuinely impressive. No, it'd be a free, mate. It'd be a free. Mensa's a free. He's a free agent. He's been a free agent since the summer. He left by a Leverkusen. He would be a free agent if we did it. I'd love Redmond to come good for you guys. I'll put a soft spot for him as a blue. Yep. What's his attitude like, John? Because I've heard from other people in the Norwich fan base saying he's not great. And I've heard a bit from the Burnley one as well. That's why I want for the person right back, left back, defensive mid. Good shout. Spent the last 3 months in Spain and flying home. So not looking forward to Cole, put the future at Wednesday. Cross. 3 months in Spain, lucky. So if you flying home tomorrow, yes, come to the cold. It's minus numbers. You will need to wrap up warm, my friend. Save the flight, yes, save the flight. Stay there if you can. But yeah, it's Baltic at the minute. I know Cran's coming over for the derby. He's been posting pictures all day and stuff. Top notch lad, no issue with it. That's the far I'm aware. He had a real frustration. Right, fair enough. But it that whole thing. You forget with Redmond that he's 31. You forget that Watman Redmond 31. They both came out of the like up and coming youngsters, and have just managed to hopefully keep the body slightly injury free. Pebble Mill at 1 p.m. Pebble Mill at 1 p.m. We looked at it last time, but injured pair part. Yeah, I mean that's the bit I'm worried about. I think with both of them, they've both got injuries that could go for deals, and you kind of don't want that. Good evening, Daniel Roberts. How are you, my friend? I hope you're well. But I think you look at everything that's going on with Wednesday at the minute, everything's in a bit of it's in and up, even though we're in administration. It's weird. Teams that go into admin shouldn't be this happy and in a good position and looking forward to the future. It's not what normally happens, but you look at what's happened today with the truck. The truck getting their name on the truck logo on the shorts is incredible. And the fact that somebody I know had a good chance, who's been, not a good chance, who's been involved in the making of that design, it's just incredible to see the club actually reaching out in that kind of sense to go, let's do this, let's actually work together, not against each other. And that's the one thing that I would say for anyone coming in to the club. You have to work with us as a fan base. And I think that's the thing. You have to work with us, because if you do try and cross us or bugger us over again, we will show you what we're going to do. And that's the thing. That is the thing for me, is whoever comes in knows what happens if we don't. Did you enjoy the winter hat thing earlier today? Yeah, I did. I'm potentially getting one. I think my missus is picking one up tomorrow for me and her. A minute. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you come in, you're going to be able to work with the club in a way that no one else has really been able to over the last couple of seasons. Any kind of like working with the club, it's had a caveat. It's had to be the mouthpiece. Hey, John, how you doing, mate? Hope you well. It's always had that kind of situation that it felt like it's had. If you do something for the club, we want something in return. Now, that's not how it should work. It should be the case that the club is wanting to work with you because they want to reach out and do stuff. It's good to see the whole club has the shackle taken off me. All the good promos that's going on. Yeah, it's really good. Like, I think the thing is, you look at classic example for you is this. I got this week. I looked at this middle of last year or this year. I'm trying to get the bloody thing in. I looked at this and I wasn't going to buy it because it was 65 quid. I'm like, I'm not buying that for 65 quid. You can get a duffed. They took it down to 25. I'm like, at 25, that is something reasonably priced I can have. And it's bloody warm as anything. And the thing is, these managed to make it that you can approach them now. You can approach the club and be like, this and this. Is this a good idea? Is this an idea? And I think you don't get that much anymore with everything. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame that we had to go down the route we had to go down to get what we wanted. Yeah, they look good, don't they? I think they're very much leaning into that old badge. Feels like they made a massive loss at 25 quid just to get some funds in until takeover happens. I don't think it's a case of getting massive losses at 25 quid. That isn't worth 65 quid. I'm telling you now, that is not worth £65. There's a lot of stuff in that club shop that was overpriced, and they'd had to bring it all down to, get some profit in, but a lot of it isn't worth that. And I think the issue you got is there was so much stuff that got priced differently. Wouldn't want to know what would have happened if he stayed true. See the new bubble hats. Good to see players agree with fans on the badge. Yeah, you could kind of see them all like go, no, that's it. That one. We want that one. You can. I think you get a funny feeling that a lot of those players will have grown up with either that badge, really, and that whenever you see like things, that is the badge I always remember with Wednesday. And I think for a lot of people, it's about seeing where we can go next. And like it's like that interview with Wilder. He knows it's going to be different. How much are the new hats? I don't know, mate. Good to see it going back to the old park, got to our roots. Got my Wednesday hoodie for Christmas present off my mum. Nice. Yeah, I know. I think I sent you a picture going, they are very, very, very nice. And the thing is, you look at what goes next and how we sort things out and how we go about things. Like, this is really good post by the Sheffield Trust. Protest the partnership from street to stands. There was a time the truck garth was sold on street corners in the pouring rain. A part of the protest to protect the future of Sheffield Wednesday. This in Sunday marks something different. In a powerful momentum moment of progress and unity, limitation blue and white run of our truck garth will be available from the club's South Stand pop-up store from 10 a.m. All proceeds go directly to the club. A trust full circle moment when the trust, the club and Wednesdayites who made it properly. Nothing is insurmountable. And I think that's really good. It's a hoodie, mate. It's a hoodie stroke dressing gown. So it's all in one kind. Just think of it as a big giant hoodie. The saying that the one that I got 3D printed. Yeah, I'm gonna have a go at 3D printing when I sort mine. I think new owners will know something of knowledge at bits in football to get better than 2 goals. I hope it's the Waltons. How do you want to take us over, pal? I just want us to have a ownership that listens, a plan, give us plans. Like you look at what Birmingham has just done with announcing how their new stadium's going to be. It's a plan. They have a plan in place. You can tell they're not here to mess about. And you should have long-term goals and long-term plans on how you want things to go. And I think we're getting to that point where that's what we need to see a bit more often. And if we get a plan and say, this is what we're doing with the stadium, this is what we're doing with the training ground, or we've bought this section of land to build new training ground on, that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. Like a hoodie, but made thick out of blanket, it's warmer AF. Yep. Don't want the stadium to look like that. No, I don't want the stadium to look like that, but I think it's one of those ones it's going to be. Let's have a look. I got a grey hat and scarf a few weeks ago and the blackout all on it. It looks really nice. Nice. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look at that. It's a mini Sheikah blanket, I think. Basically, basically that's what they describe it as. Who, not how. Oh, right. I think we're getting some sort of American ownership. I just feel that the way football is going, in a sense, I feel like American ownership is probably more than likely where we're going. Maybe there is a British consortium that could do it, but there's not many of them around. It would have to be backed. For those watching at home, ITV or Sky. Oh, good question. I might do ITV, to be fair. Preston versus Blackburn tonight, what we're saying. Going 2-0. I'm going 2-0 Preston in that one. I'm going 2-0 Preston in that. Forgot that was on tonight. Night have football back. But I think I think for me, I think it's going to go American ownership. I can't see it going elsewhere. Yeah, ITV. So it says thanks for all the well wishes, and he won't Boxer, but he isn't allowed Claire. Yeah, Si's had an operation. He's had an operation, as you all know. He's at home. He's doing well. And look after him, Claire. Make sure he's not doing anything that he shouldn't be. I know you'll crack the whip with him. Thoughts on you? I like it. I do like the new. I like the ground plan. The one of those ones where I like it, but I would have to grow. It would have to be one of the ones where it grows for it. I'm happy with a new stadium as long as it doesn't look like Birmingham's new one. Sorry, but it's awful. For just context of the ground, the design like that is built on the old Birmingham brickwork, which essentially proves bricks. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it in a nutshell. It's history, but we wouldn't know that history. Get a better site. Cycle about you as well. What's your opinion on stadium, Jake? Repair, rebuild, or relocate? Personally, I like to repair and a little bit of a rebuild. Personally, that's what I would want to do. Long term, I think new location would be great, but where you're putting it. The only place that I can think where you would put a new Hillsborough would potentially, if you bought, say, like all of the dog park and the speedway track, and you bought that and you had that as your stadium, and maybe gave them the stadium to do speedway stuff. But then you're not going to be able to do that with all the noise and stuff like that around where the houses are. That's what I would do. Personally, I build there, but it's finding bits of land to build on. And that's the hard part. That is the hard part for me. It's finding bits of land to do it. Because there isn't much land unless you go out further afield. Because wherever you put a new stadium, it's got to have good transport link for me. The beautiful thing about what we got with Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, it's on the tram line. It's perfect. And that's the thing. I don't want something to like go away from that. He'll want more. He'll want one more if we win. Have to lock it away to cover Claire. He will. ITV will probably show what War of Monster Truck as soon as the whistle goes. Yep. But ain't used a lot for the dog track. It isn't, but it isn't. But I also don't want the dog track to go. It's weird. It's that weird thing, though. Morrison's. But you know what I mean? It's that whole thing, for me, needs to be still around having good transport links. This is where both Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, technically, both stadiums are ideal. Ours is bang on a tram line, and United's is you get off the train and walk up, and you can get there. It's one of them. It is one of them for me where I'm very much of the opinion wherever you put it next, it got to be on good transport link. You got to have it. And the other thing you got is where our stadium is right now, it's not great being over the Don. Because every time the Don get bad, and it does get bad, we know this, every time the Don get bad, you're like, is it going to flood again? And if it floods again, we're knackered. So it's Cat 22. Alpha Life, God, I'm in walking distance. Nice. It Cat 22 for me. It really is. They could invest in barriers logistically. True. I think there's a lot of things that could be done to do it. For me, it's finding where you can find a decent place for it to live. And live sounds really weird. Not live. What's the word I'm looking? Where it's feasible. Let's have a look here. I've taken away my comment section. New owner should buy format and knock it down, build Hill 2.0. Yeah, but do you want it that far out? Cheers, Dino. Thank you very much, buddy. I much appreciate it. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you're well, dude. How long are you running track of Woodburn starting to look a bit run down? That's not a bad shout. That ain't a bad shout. That one's not a bad shout. You could probably get that off Hallam Uni quite easily. Let's have a big up the parrot. Yep. Formatted landmark. Can't get rid of that. I thought it was. Hallam Uni was land where our new complex had been built is the only reason our owner bought us, to be fair. Ah, right. You ideally have the complex where the training facilities are right next to it. Yeah, that's kind of what you want to do. You kind of want to really have it where both of the stadium and the training complex. That's where City looked out when they got the stadium to after it was Commonwealth Games stuff. They looked out on that. Big up Parrot. It's a shame the Euro can't buy Hill apart and build our ground there. Yeah, it's a shame. It would cost a shit ton of money and Guy would not sell it. Say that again. Why not Hill build on Hill apart and turn where the ground is apart? I don't think it'd be big enough. There's a Union Carberry at the top of the Claywell Lane. I know we've done like little hubs of things for around Sheffield. Like it's a very good idea that my good friend Nev have, rest in peace, had, where you would have pop-up satellite training thing for Wednesday and do it that way, where you would have pop-up little places where you maintain it but you have more community assets. Tramlines would not be impressed. Thing is, Tramlines wouldn't be impressed, and you wouldn't be able to get the entire hill. You wouldn't get the entire hill to sign off on it. It just wouldn't happen. Okay, let's grab medal. Hopefully, we'll get to World Cup. Country badly needs it. Yeah, I think if you could get to World Cup, it'd be fantastic. Look what it's done for Scotland. It's just risen them, and it's weird. Like I think it was PS1. World Cup 98, the last one they were at, which is insane when you think about it. But stadium-wise is interesting. I think you're right before. Keep it where it is, but move the Megastore Bandit big time. Yeah, I think I've always... The Megastore part is always the bit that annoys me a little bit, because it's... Oh, how do I describe it? I always describe the Megastore as a bit that's just been stuck on. There was no rhyme or reason of thinking about it. It was just stuck on the side of the ground. And I always think maybe it's something with the ground, you have it where it's built into the ground. And so, like you go over the bridge to go in. You got all the fancy bit welcoming you into Hillsborough. You need something like that under the ground, in a sense. But it's hard to do that with the way our stadium is. And I think if we ever did do anything, your easiest option is take all those rows of houses behind you out. And you expand that way. But then you lose the community aspect, because then you're getting rid of all the houses. What makes Wednesday ground still feel how it does is how close it is into the community. Why Everton ground was always good like that. Their old one, because you walk down the road. It's why Forester ground's really nice like that. There's loads of ground where it's nice where it's there. It's not just a bowl somewhere. It's not shoved in an industrial unit. It got that feeling of old school ground. And I think those things have to... Sometimes when you look at it down the line, you're going to try and keep those traditional things if you can. 25, get the likes up, people. I much appreciate it. Would help a lot. But it all depends on where you kind of build. If you can build a ground somewhere where you know it's going to work and it got good transport links, then great. If when you start putting grounds where there ain't great transport links and you'd have to do it a different way. Yeah, well, Luton Ground is just unique in itself. Yeah, Reebok, classic example. It's in the middle of a retail park. Gunthorpe United's is in the middle of a retail park. Yeah, you got to make sure that it's not just plonked somewhere. Granted, Hillsborough will technically be next to a retail park, not in the middle, but it'll be in the retail park. It's that whole kind of thing. You're the first person who said Everton Ground is good. I think it's that thing where I like old school grounds. I always have done. And I think some of the new ones, I do like Everton's new one. It looked good. It looked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But I like traditional old ground where you're having to go from, say, the pub to the housing estate, through the housing estate to get to the ground that's either in the middle and the heart of everything. The problem is you look at something like a Arsenal ground where you got to get the tube in, out to get there. It's just been plonked there. You know what I mean? It's that kind of situation for me where I don't know where you put Hillsborough to make it viable. Viable. I said that completely wrong. I turned the heating off in here. I shouldn't have done. I'm already getting cold. My heater died. But yeah, it's that whole thing. I don't know what you do. Also, I like us to do blue ketchup and only Pepsi, no Coke. And I think it can be interesting what new owners do. I like the idea of having more meetings. Anfield is better, 100%. I'm not saying Anfield isn't. I think where it is, it works. But Anfield has always been able to go up. They've always been able to go up now. Like, you look, it's been hired. Like, that's the thing where I don't think we would be able to do. Anyone know what's happening with the old Charlie Brown garage across the road from the megastore? There's a new permanent ban zone in the ticket office. I believe the old Charlie Brown garage had been sold to developers, mate. I'm pretty sure that's been turned into retail park. I'm torn, really. I love Hillsborough, but if we're going to reborn into 21st century, I'm not opposed to a new ground. Keep the South Stand Ironwork, though. That's not a bad shout. Have a good one, Dino. I hope you're well, mate. I'm only back from Charles Showers. I stand by 2 boys. EASC 26. So you can't wait to. They always kick my ass. Sheffield went to. Go for it, Dino. Go for it. Enjoy it. Have a good one with the family, mate. Have a good one. Went to Goulson, sat in the way end. Battered 3-1. They kind of go 2 and Pembroke. Nice. Regarding rebuilding Hillsborough, what about rebuilding one time? I think that's the best bet. I swear it's been made into an... Yeah, it's an Audi, a Costa and something else. It's all been, like, renovated. Have a good one, Dean. But I think you've also got the other thing where you could... Ideally, for me, you go in, you make the north stand safe, you get all that work done. You get all that done. Then you flatten Leppens Lane. Like, flatten it completely. Start again. Build that, get that modern. And you do stand, like I said, stand by stand. I think that you do what very much Wrexham are doing. You knock that down, you start again. You knock that down, you start again. And you take a little bit of a hit while you're getting it rebuilt. It's just going to be having to get through planning permission. It's going to be having to get through all that kind of logistical, nightmare-y stuff. But I'm not against it. I've already said, I realistically, to do Hillsborough up, I think you're talking 50 plus, 50 million, maybe 100 million, once you're all done and dusted. Generally, I think you're talking 100 million if you want to get it to the standard you want it. You got to think cost of materials. You got to think getting people to do it. I think it will cost a lot to do up But then you question, do you think that 100 million is better buying land and starting again? That's the question they would have to have. Pocket chamber. It's that interesting fact of whoever comes in and does it. I thought about that. I thought about Alton Stadium, putting it there. Wouldn't be a bad shout. That whole thing, if you move the stadium, what do you do with the stadium afterwards? Because I don't think it's somewhere where viable, where you could do like a flat kind of thing. I don't know. You might be able to for housing. But again, you've also got the other thing. It's on a river that floods all the time. Whenever there's a lot of heavy rain, it's how would you develop that? How would you do that way of thing? Because you've seen so many of the grounds, hybrids turned into flats. West Ham's old stadium turned into like flats and housing. That's how you do it. Swimming bath. Turn it into a training ground and a museum, possible. I think whoever comes in, it's stuff that the ownership are going to have to talk with. Because you got to remember, everyone for the longest time has said this club needs something doing in every sense across the board, right? We don't need everything doing, really. Like, just call it realistically. It needs infrastructure of IT. It needs infrastructure of how the mega stores run. It needs infrastructure on ticketing. It needs infrastructure on how the beer pumped in. It needs infrastructure on how the fire safety for chicken and chips. It needs all that kind of stuff adds up. I want them to spend 200 million on stadium, call me greedy, but then they had deep pockets, remember? Yep. Suppose you have to weigh up the cost effective to cheap ability. Yeah, exactly. I think the thing is, if you can have it where it can be multi-functioned, like Tottenham does, where you can have events and stuff, like Donny Rovers Stadium, their stadium's in what is called Club Doncaster. Club Doncaster do rugby, football, and I believe they do cricket. I might be wrong on that one, but it's all entwined. So that stadium gets leased out to then have other things. Then Club Doncaster take more money in. Honestly, I can't see anything to the front before that. The problem is we said you can't see anything being done before Prem money. That is that thing DC said. DC said I can't see anything being done before. I can't do anything before Prem money. I think whoever comes in is not going to be able to have that option. I'll be brutally honest. I'll be brutally honest. I don't see how they can ignore it, if that makes sense. It needs to be a project. It needs some bloody decent parking, yep. Imagine WWE on Hillsborough. Leave the North Stand as it is. It's gay. Pitch needs sorting, heating, understand. Pitch is pretty much there or thereabouts. He's had the pit done, but you're right, it does need the underground heating done. It does need that doing. We need that in a training ground. We need that at a training ground level, let alone pit level. It's little things like that you don't think. Oh my god, he pulled an elephant from the ring. Yeah. Fixing some bits here and there, but moving grounds or rebuilding stands, you can't see it. It all depends on who comes in. Would you have said that about Birmingham 2 seasons ago? Like, generally, would you have said that about Birmingham 2 seasons ago? That they would find somewhere and be able to move it on? I don't think Birmingham fans would have done 2-3 seasons ago. They would have thought, oh, we might be able to move and build somewhere else. I think we have to be a bit more positive. We already have it called Bramall Lane, mate. Yeah. Hot water in the toilet will be a good start. But yeah. Yeah, of course it would. It would be a fantastic start. I I think that's the thing. You look at it. All depends on who comes in. It all depends on how they want to do things. Because you got to remember, whoever comes in is potentially going to be starting from the ground up and going up. Very similar to a Birmingham. One of the big things we're talking about with new ownership. One of the things I keep saying that they need to get right commercially. Commercially, we are ran like shite. We have really bad commercial deals. We don't have good commercial partnerships. Why? Because for so many times it's taken 6 months to 2 years to get certain deals done. So commercially, it was always, I'll just put my name on the front. It's easy. I don't have to go out and get someone. Commercially, we need to be run better. On the pitch would be great. Don't get me wrong. You have a Twitch verification code. Who's trying to log into my Twitch? You. Right, thank you. I will send you the code. Actually, do you need it? Then I sent it to Twitter then. There you go. DC taxi or constantly running water in the toilets. There's always been hot water in the toilets called pig to stop it coming up again and again. Okay, cool. No offense to any resident, but aren't the large swaths of mailing bid that could be leveled? See, this is the thing. It depends on what someone comes in and wants to do. And the one thing I will say is, give us a plan. If you give us a plan and you can show how it's going to be done and how it's going to be instructed. No, that's not the word. Yeah, just show the plan. I'm not using big words. It's Friday night. If you can give us a plan of how it's all going to be done and what time frame it is, and show us taking leaves out of the ideas that Birmingham, Wrexham have done, to showing how things can be done, implemented. That's the word. Thank you very much. I tried to. If you can try and do it that way, then you are in for a really good way of being able to communicate with the fans. Team first, dating second. I think it's going to be team first, dating second. But I don't think it's a case of team first, dating second. I think it's everything. You don't just have it at team first, dating second. It's all got to be entwined. The team is the core bit, because that's the bit that you will see each year, and each year that will change and change and change. Your core bit is the team, but then you add things around it. So you add training ground aspect, then you add, say, stadium, then you add commercial. It's all got to be entwined, because we've done this before, where we have had it where we will only get a new ground once we get Prem money. We've been trying to get Prem money, and he just let the ground slowly but surely crumble. You don't want that. You want work to happen. You've got the situation where we've had this amount of really good players, but then we've not sold them. We have to sell players to keep turnover going. You got to do that. So it's that kind of thing. New owner will have £150 million before starting investing in players. How will FFP stop them? I don't think it will, to be fair. Better than that crap training ground at Shercliffe that I had driven past. Would anyone take in the next 2 years to be back in the Champions League sustainable? Milan has not the best guard, but one or two instances of debt, no money. I think getting out of League One will have to be high on the agenda. But the thing is, you've got to look at with Derby. Derby did it when they went into admin. Took them 2 seasons. Or did it take them 3? 1. Was it 2 or 3 seasons with Derby? I can't remember. But it took them 2 seasons. We took two seasons. And we've got to remember, when we went down in 2019, we had a business plan model to go to, and we could only get 3s. We will have again, going down into League 1 if we go down, a business plan model to go to, and either 7 to 8k wage cap, and potentially only 3s are going to be able to come in if they don't relax that fees and loan thing. I have a feeling Hilper may just be packed up to HS standards until we leave. I get the whole like rebuilding if we get Prem. I get that. But I will just make it very, very aware, if the people coming out are big, serious people and ambitious, you question if repair jobs are going to be what they want to do. Repair jobs is what it needs, but it's how it gets it. Or could we historic build a magnetic on the old olive ground? That way our neighbour will look up at us. Not a bad shout. But surely if we clear all debts and had the points this year, they allowed to sign. No, they can't. We can't do that though. We've still got a EFL transfer fee restriction till 2027, winter 2027. I don't think they're gonna. I don't trust the EFL to lift it. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't trust the EFL to lift that. Restriction. I just don't. I think they'll keep it. I think they'll turn around and say that restriction stays. They may suspend it, but we still got to have it at some point. So you're going to have to either build up straight away quickly, get players in, get them up to speed. I don't trust the EFL not to turn around and say that stays even with new ownership. I really don't want an ugly if you rebuild Hove, you raised it like 12 foot. Rovon did it without. Yep, not a bad shout. I just want to see if winning again. I have confidence that we're going to win before the game kicks off. True. Have a good one, Bob. Beat a bit. I might be on later. Let's get the most high paid fit freeze then. Yeah, I think that's the way you can do it. It's going to be. The thing is, you can get the high pay fees, but then you've got to then give them wages. And the problem is, we will have a wage cap again. We just will have a wage cap. It's just, without a shadow of doubt, we will have a wage cap. But I'm going to call it a night. I've been going for an hour. But thank you for watching. I'm going to go sit around the fire for a bit. Chill out. There is the preview out tomorrow afternoon at about 12 o'clock. So please go watch it. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Enjoy it. They won't the point deductions will stay appointment. Point deduction they are trying to get this season. The point deduction they are trying to get us at this point deduction this season, which it should be. It should be in the season we've done it. It's the situation with the punishment of signing that I struggle with. No way, guys. Have a good one, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.